My dear friends, universal friends. Today's topic is don't rent your mind for bad tenants. I will repeat it, don't rent your mind for bad tenants. Why? It's a universal issue, and there is a advice in the share market. We call it trading. In the trading market, there is a sincere advice. So many books have written regarding this. You should not carried away by your emotions. When you are trading, you should not carried away by your emotions. There should be a balance of emotion. If you don't do that, you will meet with a loss. The day itself, or after a week, or after a month. This is what even for a trading they advise. The same measure will fit in every nook and corner of your life. Mark my words. It's not only for trading, it's for your family life, or in your love, or with relatives, or in your business. Anything you should have a balance. If you are carried away by your emotions, you are gone. Why? How the emotions are formed? The emotions are learned. There are basic emotions like crying, smiling, and so on. And there are emotions, ideas, emotional ideas which we have imbibed from the society and from the family and from the friends. There is a basic person, and the person imbibes so many funny things. This imbibing is called renting. You give it for rent and you are gone. For this, I will start with a story. There was a person, real story. It is real story. It has happened. I don't want to mention his name anyway. And he had two, three houses, and there were tenants, and they won't give very, very good family. He has to ask twice, thrice, sometimes 5, 10 times for the rent. But they were giving, and he had no problem except he doesn't receive the rent on time. This is being so, a person approached him. You give your house just for rent. I will give you the double the price. Actually, he handed over the house and he said, I will give the double the price, double the advance. Advance mean in India, we give in advance amount. Yes, source of amount you can keep in advance. Some 10 times, 5 times amount they will give. He give them so much money. The person was, the house owner was so happy. And before the day of rent, he received the money for several months. The owner was so happy. Where were you, man? Like that, he had a good feel about him. But one fine evening, a police approached him and he called him for an inquiry, and he was kept in jail for 3, 4 days. The claim is that person, he has absconded and he was selling some drugs which he has kept in this rented house. And that person couldn't leave that house for rent for several years, and there was nobody to approach him for the rent. This was the situation, real situation. So many people might have met this situation, especially house owner. In the same way, there was a lady called Shanti. He had 10 houses, and he wants to have such a nice people in his house because his newly bought house. He felt so happy. Why should keep This sort of people, why don't we give a nice people like that? A first tenant came, her name was Egotistica, and that another girl come Problematica, then Stressa, Negativa, Bad Tempera, Cunninga, Misleadinga, Distractica, Family Reckonia, Bad Influencia. These all I made my own name. Like this, 10 people have rented. She was in a good position, but after these girls entered into the family, especially ego, why did you leave your husband like this? You should keep your husband under control. You should not allow him like this. There are man or woman who advises to keep his wife or husband in such situation. They are called family wreckers. Like this, these 10 tenants started influencing her, and her family is gone far away. Then a wise man came and he advised, vacate all these tenants, 10 tenants, let the house be without anybody. Slowly, one by one, the wise man asked first, you remove the egotistica, nothing but ego. Problematica, ego based problems. Then stress, negative ideas, negativa. Then bad temperament, bad tempera. No cunningness, cunninga. And the misleadinga. Detracting. You don't want to detract. You should not detract any family. Like that, family reckoning slowly got healed. This is the thing really happens. People advise, don't listen to them. Ignoring wife or husband, or ask them to ignore parents or brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, anybody, whoever advises, whether it is a man or woman, you should avoid them. If they are telling so, they call it, other people will say, due to possessiveness, she is telling or he is telling. What's your Pudalangai possessiveness? Nonsense. What sort of, if some person after marriage or while loving or in your family, if he is asking you to avoid anybody for no reason, the person is of course cunning. He is a problematic. He has an agenda. Don't rent in your mind at all. Once you permit them into your life, you are in a problem. The problem in our situation is we know a little bit better about material world, but still we lag behind in understanding the emotional world. We humans are combination of both material and emotional elements put together. The importance which we give to the appearance and beauty is not give the same as importance we give to our health. If you ask anybody, do exercise or yoga or run, he won't listen. You buy this material. He will ask you, you will buy this. This is a very good perfume. Immediately the person buys. You take this pill, this will be beneficial. Okay? Eat good vegetables, fruits. Why do you go behind tablets and all the nonsense? The importance which we give to our health and the material assets is not in a good proportion because of this negligence and ignorance. Our lives are not lived to their fullest potential. Or in a way, we could have lived better. We should have lived better. Now we are really suffering with all the comfort. Our old generation, they didn't have this much comfortable environment. We had huts, small houses. only bicycle and fields. You don't see a big streets, big theaters, big malls. Nothing they had, but they have earned people around them. If somebody dies, there were many. The body is kept for days together, sometimes a week. Nowadays, by the day he dies, the body is removed. Especially in India, not even 12 hours the body is permitted to keep in his house by his own children and wife or husband. And they want to get away from there. All the relatives, they want to get away because we lack a relationship, emotional relationship is lacking behind. I'm not just telling story. We are traveling towards a bad situation. Due to this imbalance, there is an often lack of love and understanding between husband and wife, brother and sisters, even with parents. Children are asking, why didn't you earn more for me? Especially in Asian countries, children claim. India, the children claim. What do they claim? What you have earned for me? Yeah, they have brought up you, they have educated you, they have done so much. And they have an idea the parents are not only meant for bringing us up, they have to hold money for his future. What nonsense sort of thinking. Not everybody, but there are few. The idea is existing. I am not talking something beyond what is existing. If the child brought up by the parents who understand the value of human relationship, if he behaves poorly, it raises a concern. Consider the father who was once a child and who is now least bothered about human relationship, what state we would be in. If such a child who doesn't care for the human relationship, he says, I don't care, only material benefits are sufficient. Because of this, he doesn't have anybody in his life. He couldn't live with his wife, he couldn't live with her own husband, and no relatives, no friends, even if we have, that is just for a party friends, what are some club friends or workmates, new terms are arising, but no friends. It's because of emotional well-being is not there in our mind. We don't have a good emotional well-being. We are traveling towards a bad thing. By neglecting emotional well-being, we actually create our own emotional enemy. We become our own enemy. We turn to be our own enemy. I said in the beginning, the Shanti, that is nothing but Sita Devi. Jiva's property, one person's life is property. One actual quality of an individual is in peace. Rama is nothing but Paramatma, who supports the life behind. And Rama gives the Dhanu. Rama owns the Dhanu. Dhanu means actually arch as well as body. And Lakshmana is nothing but our intellect. Sita is, as I said, Jiva. The single curiosity, what is the deer carried away her from that Parnashala. Ravana is nothing but this 10 split personality. The Maricha is nothing but a delusion. That's why I say, my dear children, don't permit from the base. The bad curiosity is the gateway. What is this? Any drug or idea or any entertainment in any form, if you keep the door open, that rascal, who is the rascal? I am not asking any person, addressing any person. That rascal, nothing but the bad tenant, he will get into your house. And there are people who are finding it difficult to vacate the house. There are varieties of tenants who give problems. So, what's the base? The bad curiosity. What is in it? Why don't I smoke once? Don't do that. Why don't I try little bit? What is in it? Nonsense. Why don't I go there? Why don't I do this? Please don't do it, don't do it. If you become little bit aware, they say saints who got an enlightenment have a balanced mind. Saints get and they are not going to live. And the enlightenment, the balanced mind, it is for attaining the ultimate. If you live like a saint means not like with me, with this dress or robe. If you live like a saint, your life will be happy. If you have an emotional balance, what is that? You should not carried away by your emotions. In the beginning, I said there is an advice in the share market or in trading. If you apply everywhere and don't give the bad curiosity importance, don't carried away by these ideas and these ideas, be emotionally balanced today. I conclude with this. Afterwards, this session may continue afterwards. Thanking you.